I'm America's Digital Pro, Kim Commando. Hey, and welcome to Tech News This Week. It's your favorite podcast that gives you the top stories, the scams, security alerts, and all the crazy stuff that happens in the world of tech. Coming up in Tech News this week, remember last month's massive data breach? Well, hold on to your shirts and keys because it just got a lot bigger. And now hackers are passing around, get this, billions of records.
I'm Mike James. We're also going to tell you how you can get an Apple Watch through a big partnership between Apple and a major health company.
Plus, Panasonic has a brand new floor lamp. So why are we talking about here? Well, it has a built-in camera, and this raises new privacy concerns.
How scammers and con artists have evolved and adapted to the Instagram era.
And how one museum in Florida is resurrecting an artist who's been dead for about 30 years. All that and much more coming up on Tech News This Week from Commando.com. But first, we'd like to recognize our partners because they help make these podcasts possible.
We start with new information on the largest stolen data exposure ever, which was originally discovered last month. Well, now it involves even more records. Wired is reporting that collection number 1 was just the beginning. Now, someone has gathered those records and others from breaches involving companies like Dropbox and LinkedIn and is distributing them all over hacker sites. So, to put this all in perspective, the original number of collection number 1 records from last month was 773 million usernames and passwords. The number of exposed records now, that is combined with other breached databases, 2.2 billion unique usernames and passwords from various accounts. Now, the new data dump, referred to as collections 2 through 5, it looks as though all the exposed data is compiled from previous thefts, not new breaches that we haven't heard about yet. But of course, it still could put your accounts in jeopardy if hackers take a new look at some of these old records. Head over to Commando.com for more information on this latest data dump and, of course, resources so you can protect yourself online.
All right, if you still don't have an Apple Watch, you can basically get one for free. But there's a big gotcha. You have to take part in a new health program. But this one's a little bit different than the others that I've mentioned before. You see, since 2016, Apple has been working with Aetna to develop a health tracking app for your iPhone and Apple Watch. It's called Attain, and the two companies say it's the first app of its kind. It's going to give you personalized activity goals based on traits like your age, sex, and weight, even send you health notifications when it's time to refill a prescription or go get a flu shot. Now, if you don't already have an Apple Watch, Aetna will give you a Series 3 model, but you'll have to follow the app's suggestions to earn reward points to basically pay it off. If you already have an Apple Watch, you can use the points to put it towards other retailers' gift cards. The Attain app is set to come out this spring, but it's only for Aetna members, and it's only up to a certain number of participants. It'll work on any Apple Watch, and the iPhones, well, they have to be 5S model or later. And it's not just Aetna. Last year, Apple partnered with United Healthcare in a similar program where members can also get a free Apple Watch as long as they complete designated health goals. Some people think it's a win-win for Apple and the health insurers. Apple gets to put their tech on your wrist, and healthy customers may mean fewer insurance claims. As far as your data, that's all up for grabs.
Well, it used to be relatively easy to spot a scam, like an email from a long-lost relative who just left millions of dollars or all those Nigerian princes. But now it can be much more difficult to figure out what's real and what is actually a scam. The Guardian published a story about how con artists have even found a home of ripping people off on Instagram. They talked about a scam that went after photographers and Instagram influencers with an invitation to work on a campaign in Indonesia. Many even flew to Indonesia, believe it or not, only to find out that they had to pay thousands of dollars for non-existent permits. And you might have heard of the Fyre Festival, that's spelled F-Y-R-E, which was touted as a luxurious and exclusive music festival in the Bahamas back in 2017. But there was no luxury, there was barely even food. The organizer was later sentenced to prison for fraud, and coincidentally, just in the past couple of days, 2 different documentaries about the Fyre Festival started streaming on Hulu and Netflix. So watch out for those promises on Instagram, even if they come from a, quote, influencer with a lot of followers, because scammers will pay them early just to get a bigger payday later with money they take from you.
Just ahead, a new floor lamp with a built-in camera is raising additional questions about privacy, especially when it comes to vacation rentals. Right now, let me tell you about our partners at Capterra. Can you believe it's been 30 years since the World Wide Web was invented? And I bet some of you are still using that old, outdated software. Come on, get with the program. Set yourself up for success with new software for your business at Capterra.com. As America's digital pro, I get asked all the time, what's the best software for my business? And I do refer people to Capterra.com. And here's the reason why. Capterra is the leading free online resource to help you find the best software solution for your business and discover what you need to make an informed decision. You can search more than 700 specific categories of software. Everything from project management to email marketing to even yoga studio management software. So join millions of people who use Capterra each month to find the right tools for their business. Visit Capterra.com/Kim today to find the right tools to make 2019 the year for your business. Once again, that address, Capterra.com/Kim, Capterra.com/Kim.
Well, there's a new tech product for your home. It's supposed to be for your security, but it's definitely concerning from a privacy standpoint, especially for potential visitors. Panasonic is building a floor lamp with a security camera built into the pole, which is meant to give homeowners a way to keep an eye on their property in a more subtle way than a security camera stuck to a wall or on a bookcase. So what about renters or home vacation rentals through Airbnb? There have already been issues with hidden cameras in the past, and even a recent incident involving a security camera in the living room of an Airbnb home. Now, that's not exactly a spy camera with a pinhole-sized lens, but still much more of a mainstream option for hiding in plain sight surveillance device. It's called the HomeHawk Floor, and right now it's on Indiegogo, so Panasonic can gather feedback about the device. But this should also serve as a reminder that anytime you're staying at a home that's not yours, you need to take a close look around. We've got tips on how to spot hidden cameras over at Komando.com.
A clever scam is spreading on YouTube that you need to know about. Here's a hint. Someone wants to give you something valuable for free. A twist on the classic phishing scam is taking over YouTube. Let's say one of your favorite YouTube stars sends you a direct message. You'd be pretty excited, right? And you've been randomly selected to get a free gift. Whoa, your lucky day. All you need to do, and here it comes, is click the link in the message. Do that and a keylogger, malware, or worse takes over your device. Or at the very least, you're directed to a site or a phone number where the scammers will get your personal info or maybe ask a small fee to get your free gift. I mean, you wouldn't expect that YouTube star to ship that gift to you for free, would you? Nothing in life is free, especially gifts on the internet.
Here's an interesting question for you. What do you get when you cross artificial intelligence technology with a famous painter who's been dead for 30 years? Well, one museum is planning on showing you. Salvador Dali was a surrealist painter who died in 1989 at the age of 84, and now the Salvador Dali Museum in St. Petersburg, Florida, just unveiled, well, a clone of the late artist that's set to interact with visitors this spring. The replica was created with archive footage and made its debut in a video called Dali Lives in the museum's YouTube page. It's a short video, but hard to tell this is not a real person or one of the latest CGI effects used in movies, especially when it says, "I do not believe in my death. Do you?" Now, it's obviously not his real voice, since the replica will be able to speak with guests about Dali's life and current events. The exhibit opens in April and is appropriately called Dali Lives, Art Meets Artificial Intelligence. It's definitely an interesting use of the future of technology, but maybe some things should remain in the past. Hey, a group of researchers at MIT is using laser beams as a way to get a message to you. Oh, we love laser beams.
You know, I have one simple request, and that is to have sharks with frickin' laser beams attached to their heads.
What they found is that they can use laser beams to send audio straight to someone's ear, and it's from a distance. They're using the photoacoustic effect, which is when water vapor in the air absorbs light and forms sound waves. And to top it off, they've figured out a way to generate sound that can only be heard at a certain distance. That way, it'll only be heard by the person that it's meant for, not someone else who just happens to walk through the beam's path. So these messages could be secret even in big crowds. Oh, and in case you're wondering about the risks that come with laser beams being pointed at your ear, these researchers say that type of laser is completely safe for people. It's almost reassuring.
More tech news from Komando.com is coming up in a moment, including updates from some of this week's biggest stories in tech news, such as the Apple FaceTime flaw and another case of Facebook with the hands in your data jar. Right now, a quick thank you to our amazing partners who definitely help make this podcast possible.
A huge flaw found in Apple's FaceTime allowed people to eavesdrop on the person that they were calling even before that person answered the phone. This bug involves a group FaceTime and was affecting iPhones and even Macs. So here's the problem. When you've already started a FaceTime call with one person, then you add in another, you would be able to hear audio from that third person's iPhone even though they hadn't accepted the call. And get this, if the person on the other end tried to reject the call by pressing the power button, the one that's calling could not only hear audio, but would also see up to a couple of seconds of video from the front-facing camera of the other iPhone. Yeah. Apple has since disabled group FaceTime and said a fix will be released in software update at some point this week. Until they do that, it's probably a good idea just to disable FaceTime altogether. And we've got step-by-step instructions on how to turn off FaceTime for iPhones, iPads, and Macs on Komando.com. Calling this a big security concern is an understatement. And to put the cherry on top, it's an even bigger face palm for Apple since this bug was discovered on Monday, which is also Data Privacy Day. There's some irony for you.
If you're willing to not watch even a split second of the Super Bowl and the big commercials this coming Sunday, you could win a new car, so long as you keep your eyes on your smartphone. Volvo is running a Super Bowl tech gimmick. Play their mobile test drive app for a chance to win a new $40,000 so sedan. The catch? You can never look away from your smartphone because they're watching. The app's facial recognition locks onto a person's face and detects when the person's eyes are no longer directed at the screen. Look up to see Budweiser's Dalmatians? Done. Sneak a peek at Brady's Bomb? Over. The last 3 people standing or staring have a chance to win the new car. And if you can see yourself playing, get the app, The Longest Drive Game. It only works on the latest iPhone and Samsung Galaxy phones. But remember, you're not watching the Super Bowl.
Facebook and your data sounds all too familiar, doesn't it? Well, they're at it again, and it's a new year, after all, and this time it's been revealed that they were paying people to install some pretty intrusive data-gathering software on their phones. As TechCrunch first reported, since 2016, Facebook has been paying adults and even teens to install a VPN called Facebook Research that basically collects data about how they use their smartphone. But its name was later conveniently changed to Project Atlas, and it's really pretty bad. One expert told TechCrunch the app allowed Facebook to collect data like your web browsing history, private social media messages, along with photos and videos sent through other instant messaging apps. And the app always had access to your location as well. So, just about everything you wanted to keep private, all while Facebook tried to gather intelligence on competing apps. At first, Facebook defended the app, saying they had no plans to remove it. But only hours later, they pulled the iOS version, and Apple spokesman even confirmed that Facebook had violated its policies. At last check, it was still available through Android. Now, if this sounds like deja vu, you're not alone. Just last year, Apple pulled another Facebook app called Anovo because it also violated their privacy rules involving data collection. A week ago, the Wall Street Journal posted an op-ed by Mark Zuckerberg called The Facts About Facebook, where he basically said people don't trust Facebook because they don't understand it. Actually, Mark, I think we understand it all too well. And as a reminder, we've got all kinds of tips on how to protect your data on Facebook, at least what's in your power, and even steps to shut down your account if you finally had enough. Just check out Komando.com. And by the way, every week on Kim's National Radio Show, she answers questions from people like you who want to live their best digital life ever, whether it's a family problem or business issue. If you're wondering how to get things done, you can make an appointment to speak with Kim. Use our dedicated call-in line and leave a message at 602-381-8200, extension 290, and a producer will get back to you. And we'll look forward to hearing you on the show. Again, that number is 602-381-8200, extension 290. That's your tech news this week. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.